All right. What's up, people? Welcome to the OGAL number 16. Or if you've been following me for the last year plus, this is the OGL number 66, I believe. So, tonight, just a few random topics. We probably won't be out here no more than an hour or so. Um, you may see a few folks jump in, but right now, I just have with me Mr. Red Fox and Gilligan Stash. So we'll go ahead and just get started, and we'll start out with the confirmation of the SNES Classic, and the fact that as Mr. Red Fox put it, the pre-orders are already been gone. They've been snapped up. They're gone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now it hasn't gone on official pre-order yet at retailers in America at this time, but you can be rest assured when it does, it will be gone that day. So if you don't log on that day to read the day it goes on pre-order to get yourself one, you're not going to get one. If you thought the NES Classic was bad when it comes to finding one, this is going to be nigh impossible.
Worse. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be worse. Yeah.
this
Yep,
is this is
I
going to be this is
agree.
going to be first year amiibo shit where you can't find anything.
And
So
people gonna think that oh, please just gonna be as bad as the NES community. It's gonna get worse, and they're gonna still blame Nintendo for it. This is like this. As of right now, the Switch is already having people already having a hard time trying to buy a Switch. You know?
Yeah, but that's not them shorting the supply. That's like the
I know,
parts are difficult to
I know. It's
I mean,
not. It's
people
not.
people like to pretend like, well, this is part of their strategy. They're shorting it to increase demand. No, they literally they make more, and then as soon as they get to a retailer, they're gone.
Oh, I know that. I know that. I know there. Even Nintendo came out and said that they're not doing this on purpose. They're
Yeah.
legit trying to get it out there as much as possible, but the demand is so high. The demand, and I know the demand is already just super high for the Super Nintendo Classic.
one thing Nintendo may end up doing in regards to the Switch right now, this is a little side tidbit, is that I can see them, at least for the time being, creating another factory just to keep up with production.
Well, I mean, it's not the factory thing. It's that components to make it are in short supply. So even if they open another factory, if they don't have the components to make it, they just have those people sitting around looking at the wall. And Nintendo ain't doing that because those are cheap bastards. Um, so I mean, it's kind of like this. It's like because I had this issue when I opened my third location. Like we started serving pizza at that location for a while, and it was popular, but I didn't have like it was hard getting the ingredients for certain pizzas. So it was like even if I hired someone else to be in the kitchen, it doesn't matter because I don't have the ingredients to make more of that particular type of pizza.
I get what you're saying. And I mean, when it comes to the SNES Classic, they stated that they're going to continue to produce it up to the end of the year, which is only roughly 3.5 months total, given the release date we've been given. But I already know this thing is going to be it's going to be almost impossible to find, even up to that last month, the last week, even, and especially around Christmas. I hope they got a supply of like 10 million waiting, but I doubt they will have
Well,
that.
I mean, your best bet would be to go to Amazon or wherever and just like get your pre-order in as soon as it's open. Have your money ready, and then because normally Amazon, if you get in early enough, they won't cancel your stuff. Your stuff is paid for. That's boom. That's the end of it.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do myself though, if I can, if I can't get it from Best Buy first, in person, I will get it online. If I can't get it online, I will go to Amazon. But I typically try to reserve things in person because those are the ones that the odds of your shit getting canceled is slim to none
No,
when you
that's true.
pre-order in person.
Well, I'm going to keep it real. The only time I've ever had an online order canceled was when I went through Best Buy, ironically. I went through their website and I had my shit canceled. But I've never had an Amazon order canceled. Or ironically, the devil that is GameStop. But aside from that, yeah, the only time I've ever had an online thing canceled was with Best Buy, which is weird.
Well, anyone else got any comment? Oh, does anyone else want to comment on the SNES Classic? It's
Oh, I do.
confirmation, or what do you think
I
about it?
I am very excited, but I will say this, like it's like as soon as they start selling the thing, it's only gonna get worse from there. It's only gonna get worse from there because especially during the holidays. Like, man, like if you're really trying to, find SNES Classic during the holidays, you're gonna be most likely be out of luck. Most likely, you just be hoping for a Christmas miracle for that to happen.
Well, I actually have a quick question though, that you guys, you can answer for me. And it's actually a troll question, just to give the viewers a heads up. But who thinks the SNES Classic, being announced and released, is a direct result of fan outcry? Because
Ah.
I was told that Metroid, remake and Metroid Prime 4 were the direct result of fan outcry.
I don't like those, and that it's just one giant coincidence, maybe, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit because okay,
It's just a coincidence. I
if
mean,
this
this was rumored
system
during the beginning of the year, so
yeah, if this system was being released due to fan outcry, the list of games would be a lot more eclectic than what they are. These are basically the list of these games are like the SNES greatest hits that typify what the system was about. Right? It's got a good mix of RPGs. It's got some arcade type games. It's got some shooters, side-scrolling shooters. It's got the usual suspects of Mario. I mean, it's got a decent array of games. And if it was really fan outcry, then it would maybe have 10 games, but you could hook the thing into the virtual console and download and buy and download games to put on there. Like that would be fan outcry because it would be more open to fans or whatever. I mean that's bullshit, man. Let's just keep it real. That's just people who think way. I mean, everyone should have a healthy sense of of uh, of pride and self-respect and a good think highly of themselves, but really your fan demands made a billion-dollar company produce something that's probably only going to make them maybe 300-400 million back. Yeah, okay, sure, yeah.
Before we continue, real quick, I just got some seemingly breaking news from Sprite Remix. And if you're listening, man, if you want to be in, hey, you're welcome to come in the podcast. But he just made a post on Google Plus stating that, well, basically, he said was fuck this game even more. But he was referring to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and the recent announcement that it will be excluding X-Men characters because the fans don't remember them.
That's just PR
Fuck those
because
people.
that just sounds like PR because of contract issues.
That's not new.
Yeah, that's what that is.
That's all that is.
Recent, but it's not new. But
because Fox and Marvel don't want to pony up and work it out. That's what that shit is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what that is.
And
that's what we should do.
I know it may not be new. I'm just not hearing about this, but he just posted it. But even looking now, it's like, okay, so the lowest count in any of your versus games is probably Marvel vs. Capcom, the first one, if not the first X-Men vs. Street Fighter. And then you went up to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which had, I think, roughly 56 after it's all said and done. And now you're going back down to about, 30, which is not bad. I prefer actually less characters, but you're basically getting or not going to include any X-Men characters. No one wants to see Gambit, Cyclops.
Well, if they could, I bet they would, but
I'm pretty sure they can, but they're just not going to do it. And I'm pretty sure they're going to probably release them as DLC. They're going to have the X-Men DLC.
I don't even think they'll be allowed.
Because
this is not just a Capcom thing. This is a Capcom Fox,
Capcom,
Disney
Marvel,
thing.
Fox thing, and Disney,
Yeah.
like Marvel and Fox don't get along because Fox tanked the Fantastic Four, and they kind of almost tanked the X-Men. So like Marvel's like, well, fuck you then. We ain't gonna do shit with you anyway. So I mean, that's just it's a contract thing, and fans get screwed while these titans are fighting against each other, which is sad because I mean, okay, wouldn't it have been nice to have Gambit, Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm in the game? Yes, but I mean, it's not that bad. There are other characters in the Marvel universe who need some love, so I'm not that upset about it.
But the only ones who are going to get love are the ones that have movies coming out.
Yeah, because
yeah. So
this game is being made to hype up Infinity War. That's why this game is being made. It's for that movie, and I'm sorry, that movie has fuck all to do with the X-Men. The X-Men don't. I don't even think the X-Men are in that fucking universe. Like that's how much Marvel buried the X-Men.
That's the thing. If they were gonna make this to release of the movie, why they should have at least delayed it from 2018? Because from what I played from the story demo, like gameplay is alright. It's good and all, but it's like the roster is small. But this is basically typical Capcom, just bringing in the DLC out. Instead
Can we
of
just keep it real? Capcom is not what they used to be. Okay.
Yeah,
They don't make games like they used to.
Also, when it comes to the acting, I watched a little bit of story. I watched the Best Friends play through the story mode, and oh god, it was. You're not going to hear a lot of good voice acting because, again, that's because of the whole SAG-AFTRA strike with the games industry still going on right now. And
Oh really? Oh
yeah.
Man, they want their money. I mean, that's what it's about. I mean,
Capcom probably didn't want to play ball. That's why. I can't remember her name, but what's her face isn't going to be playing Chloe in the
Jennifer
Life is
Hale.
Strange. Yeah, Jennifer Hale's not going to be playing Chloe in the Life is Strange prequel because Square Enix is like, no, no, union workers. So
Japan is not friendly to union people.
Well, I have a question about that game because I'm not familiar. I will admit that, and I let that be known when I made the video about it recently. But Life is Strange. What type of game is that?
It's
An adventure
Telltale game.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, it's not Telltale. It's better than a Telltale game. It's got more gameplay. It's I like to call them point-and-click adventure games that are on console. Like you move around
it's
a
modern
character.
adventure game.
Yeah, and its focus is more on character and story. But Life is Strange was interesting in that it had like a gameplay hook, which a lot of them don't, in that you could reverse time and make different decisions and stuff. But which I thought was cool, and it's a story-based game. It was an episodic. You could buy it cheap, like the whole 5 episodes now on PSN for pretty cheap and stuff, and so it's for the prequel. So, and this is not made by the people who made Life is Strange, which I can't remember the developer's name. This is made by another team, and then they're finishing up another adventure game which has a little bit more gameplay and action things called Vampire with a Y. It looks really cool.
That game's not a point and click. That's an action game.
It's an action adventure, but it's made by this Don't Nod, I think is their name. So it's going to have more story driven than most.
Yeah, I saw the demo for that. That looked fun.
It looks fun, and then after that, they're going to do a true sequel to Life is Strange. So
that.
Okay.
Yeah. Square Enix is not. Square Enix isn't.
And Square Enix is the publisher of it, so.
Yeah, they still aren't what they used to be.
I was about to say that Capcom is literally the Japanese EA.
No, man, they're not the Japanese. Okay, if Capcom can destroy studios the way EA does, then I'd say that, but they don't. Okay, they don't. People leave, but they don't literally just destroy a fucking studio from the outside in, like EA does.
They do it from the inside out.
Okay.
Which explains why we haven't seen Criterion anymore.
Well, it explains why Criterion's dead, why Origin, the people who made Ultima, is dead. why Tiburon is dead, why Titanfall 2 doesn't exist anymore, EA Big doesn't exist anymore, BioWare shit now, Plants vs. Zombies is dying. I mean, yeah. I mean, EA. I mean, it's okay. Let's put it this way. Capcom
Let's not forget
is
the
bad.
biggest, most egregious one that really hit a lot of people, and that was Maxis. Ooh,
Yeah,
that was a big one.
Yeah,
Sim,
I mean,
SimCity,
why we can't get a Sim City?
What's his face?
Sims?
Will Wright. Yeah. That whole thing.
Nickel and dime. Why you can't get a Sim City or Sims game without them nickel and diming you with shitty DLC? I mean, it's. I mean, look. Capcom is bad, but I mean, no, they aren't EA bad.
Interesting.
There's like okay, Capcom is your shitty neighbor who lets his dog shit in your front yard, like, and that's kind of shitty, but it's not like, Whereas EA is your neighbor who not only lets his dog shit in your front yard, he's also sleeping with your wife, and your kid calls him dad.
Hey man,
that's EA. Okay,
Damn.
that's EA. It's like, look, your dog shitting in my yard, that's bad, but your dog shitting in my yard, plus you're sleeping with my wife, and my kid is calling you daddy. Wow,
okay, you're going too damn far.
I hate you, EA. I hate you.
Oh, shit.
Well, what do you guys think about the Star Fox 2 being included? Which, if my memory serves me correctly, that was unreleased.
Unreleased. Yep, it was
Unreleased,
an
never
unreleased game.
Now, I heard from Mr. T years prior that you could actually have people like make
There
it
were
for
ROMs
you.
out there. Like there was
they make a repro
semi-finished
cart.
ROM.
Yeah.
And there was a ROM cart. I think
No, the game was finished.
Yeah,
and
they
they
just
dumped the
never
ROM.
released it because it
They
was
just
so
never
late.
released it.
Lifestyle.
Exactly. Yeah.
Lifespan.
I've played the game, and like everyone wants to act like this game is the holy grail. I'm gonna let you on a little secret. It's not that good. Star Fox 2 is not that good of a game. The concepts behind it are really awesome, but the technology for what they wanted to do in Star Fox 2 were better expressed on the N64 and Star Fox 64. That's it.
Okay, well, how would you compare Star Fox 2 to Star Fox Zero?
I would say that Star Fox 2 is worse than Star Fox Zero. I mean, in answering it seriously, because like I said, Star Fox Zero, Star Fox Zero, the only real issue that I think Star Fox Zero had was that it suffered from the Platinum curse, which is its control scheme. Well, no, it's like Platinum's games don't really have a even difficulty curve. Like they're parts of it that are kind of easy, and then it's like, well, you took that easy shit. Here, let me throw you in the deep end. It's like, no, I need gradually getting more difficult. Star Fox 2, like I said, has a lot of good concepts too, but because the technology wasn't quite where they wanted it to be, it didn't express itself well. Like, it has all range mode, but I mean, like, it looks like ass even with the FX chip. It has you can get like different types of R wings and choose wingmen. It's really cool stuff, but it's like, man, this technology is not really working for me. But then they did the same thing, like a lot of those concepts into Star Fox 64, and it works much better because the technology can handle it. So, I mean, it's like I said. I mean, I know everyone's like Star Fox 2. It's okay. It's not as good as the first one.
Well,
all right, anybody else?
I'll be the judge of that, though. See if you're right or wrong.
And we got a comment here by Cherry Goblin in the chat saying Red Fox and his creative analogies about EA. I would have to agree with you, man.
That wasn't creative. I was telling the truth. Anyone here who loved the EA arcade style games? Look, I loved Mutant League. I loved The Sims. I loved Ultima. I loved Mass Effect and Dragon Age. But those things are shell. Those games are a shell of what they used to be, and it's all EA's fault. So. But to quote Will Ferrell from that movie Election or whatever it was with what's his name, Zach Galifianakis, look, my kid calls you daddy. I got to F your wife. Those are the
rules. Anyone else want to comment on Star Fox 2 on the SNES Classic?
I'm gonna be honest. I am really beyond excited because. Now they actually sort of made they sort of made like the timeline for Star Fox 2 pretty much canon at this point. And the good thing is too is that they could practically build upon the lore for Star Fox 2 if they want to. And I believe that with Star Fox 0, they basically have opened up an opportunity to create an extensive story behind it, you know?
Okay. Well, I do have one quick question. Who thinks that is going to be the primary reason the SNES Classic sells?
Oh, definitely.
No.
I think so. Well, I think for a lot of people, enthusiasts, it will.
Yeah, I think for the most hardcore of hardcore, like who never played that game, yeah, it's gonna be, oh man, I gotta get Star Fox.
It's most likely because it's like the NES Mini, it's a small plug and play console that's made by Nintendo,
Yeah, I mean, okay. For people who like the SNES was their first console or their most memorable console, they're gonna get this because of nostalgia. But I mean, let's look at the list of games. Okay, Contra 3: The Alien Wars, that's not a system seller. Donkey Kong Country, some people might really like that. Earthbound, some people might really like that. Final Fantasy 3, definitely a system seller. F-Zero, Kirby Superstar, Kirby Dream Course, damn sure not. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, that you could say that people would get that just for that. You just play it on physical hardware and not digitally, even though technically this is still emulation, whatever. Mega Man X, Secret of Mana, Star Fox 2. I mean, there's a lot of games here that really could just one or two of these could really do it, like Super Metroid, Mario RPG, stuff like that. But they've got 21 games here, and like I'd say about 10 of them are like really heavy hitters.
All right. Anyone else want to comment on that?
I think that I think they're just an official release of Star Fox 2. I think it's just really cool from both just a fan perspective, not being a fan of Star Fox, but from other fans, and that whole gaming preservation thing. I think is really cool, and just having it officially out there for people who don't want to go through emulation or go through the trouble of finding like unofficial ROM or card of it. And also, it'll be interesting to see if sites review it. In 2017, reviewing an SNES game, it'd be interesting.
They're gonna do that. People are gonna be on. You're gonna see Pro Jared or Gerard, the completionist. Yeah. We gotta finish Star Fox 2.
You know what? Here's a good question in the chat by Cherry Goblin. Would you like a Game Boy Classic? What the hell, man?
Nah.
That would be interesting.
Nah, I already got the Game Boy games.
Well, to me, we kind of already got that because remember the little Game Boy Micro or whatever?
Yeah, but that wasn't that still was a normal Game Boy. You just had to it could play Game Boy games. I think they could do a Game Boy Classic, but it would have to have like maybe 50 or 60 games, and it would have to be a good cross sample of Game Boy Color games, Game Boy games. Like you'd have to have a good array. Yeah. That would be a licensing nightmare, though.
But let me ask you guys this then: why do you think the SNES Classic only has 21 games when the NES has 30?
Licensing.
But you think that Nintendo can only have licensing ease with just those 21 games, no others, none?
I think they probably had could get licensing for more games, but it was like this was something that they were like, okay, we want to get a cross section of games that'll appeal to the widest audience, and people can, because it ships with 2 controllers, so there's some 2-player games where people can play with their friends, like multiplayer stuff like that. They wanted games that were like a good cross section of games. That's what they wanted.
Well, the reason I'm asking because I also agree. Well, before we went live, you said that basically the reason you weren't too concerned about the NES Classic is because you have purchased those games and still own them roughly 3 times over. You want to be virtual console, emulation on your PC, or any other means. And I just thought to myself, well, if that one had 30 games, I'm pretty sure there are other popular system seller games that Nintendo could have put on the SNES Classic. Plus, people even wanted more games on the NES, so why not at least meet
do 30
prior?
Yeah, at least do 30. Look, I agree. 30 would have been a nice round number, but like I said, I think they were just like, look, we're just gonna do these. We're gonna do 21. I mean, it would be great to do 30. 30 probably would have been better. I mean, like it would have been great to have maybe Chrono Trigger, Breath of Fire 1, Breath of Fire 2. Maybe Final Fight.
Here's a good question from Weister20 in the chat. He says, why not also Final Fantasy 4, 5, and Chrono Trigger? Well, I think you can actually get Chrono Trigger, if not the eShop. I mean, I actually have that game on the PS1, and you can definitely find it on the PlayStation Plus store.
Yeah,
you definitely can.
You can get that game on PlayStation Plus. You can get it. You can get the disc version on the PS1. The best version or the cartridge version. You can get it on the Wii Virtual Console. If you own a Wii or a Wii, you can still go on the Virtual Console and buy that game for like $7. Great purchase. Never let it down. You can spend $34, $39 and get it for the DS, but I mean, I don't know. I'd rather spend. I don't like the changes they made with the DS version, so I stick with my original cartridge and the one on the Virtual Console.
And Cherry Goblin actually posted a comment here, which he agreed with you. He says Donkey Kong Country 2 is missing, which I think it should have been there. I really do.
Yeah. I think they should have dropped Kirby's Dream Course and put Donkey Kong Country 2 because.
Yeah, it is very weird because DKC 2 is considered the best of the Super Nintendo trilogy.
Well, it's the best of the Donkey Kong Country SNES trilogy. Because the first Donkey Kong is
yeah, that's what I said. It's the best in the
really good
Nintendo trilogy.
The second one does the best of both worlds, and the third one's just kind of like they were just throwing shit against the wall, hoping it would stick. Sometimes you had levels that were awesome. Some levels were like, "Come on, man."
Yeah, I know.
That's not cool, man.
And Mr. Maverick.
It really doesn't have the charm of the first two, basically.
Yeah.
And Eric Maverick in the chat, and this is I'm hoping this does happen. I really do. But he says glad Star Fox 2 was finished. I'm happy for the programmers and the fans alike. Also, I think the N64 and GameCube Mini is possible now. I think that's a possibility.
I don't know about the GameCube Mini.
Yeah, I would say the N64.
But definitely N64 Mini. Yeah.
Because all these systems were cartridge-based, and a lot of the games are available on Virtual Console now through emulation. But so it's like if we got a GameCube Mini, dude,
man,
if they do anything with GameCube on it, I'm telling you, it'll be locked up. They will have an automatic victory. Because that is the one system that many do believe still never got pushed to its limits.
Well, it didn't, but whatever.
Well, the thing about the N64 Mini,
but let me tell you why I don't want GameCube though. This is one reason I don't want it. There's one reason I do want it. There's one reason I don't want it though.
You don't want the Smash Brothers Melee fans.
I don't want the Melee crowd to have it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you're listening to this. You can leave now. But you bastards need to go. We have moved on. I respect Melee, but let's be honest. It was just a little broken.
It's not that good. It's not that good. I'm sorry.
It was a little broken, and I think Brawl is better. You can say I'm a noob if you want to. And I think Smash 4 is better. So hate me if you want to, but you need to move on.
Here's what I'll say. Okay, Melee was good for its time. It was fun, but here's the problem. Okay, Melee had too many damn exploits that people use and think that they're playing the game at a high tier when they're just using exploits, okay? Brawl single player is second to none. Brawl single player still shits on Melee's, 64's, and 4's single player. Hands down, no questions about it.
Yeah.
Smash 4 has the best online experience of all the Melee games, like multiplayer online experience, and that's awesome. The single player is ass, though. So I would say the next Smash has to take Brawl and Smash 4 and smash them fused together into a new creature that has the best of those both worlds.
Yeah, exactly. And
Oh, come on now. Eric never said he wanted Kirby's Dream Land too.
Oh, God, no. No.
Kirby's
No,
Dream Land 2? Where you
okay.
got Kirby's Dream Land 2?
You started
That's
something,
Kirby
man.
Superstar. Kirby Superstar gives you the best of all that shit. I mean, damn.
Okay, let me ask you guys this. Would you rather have a GameCube? Well, I don't think we get a GameCube Mini because that system pretty much was a mini. But how would you feel about the GameCube Virtual Console? Even though I think the Virtual Console is pretty much gone, and by that I mean Nintendo is no longer giving the network a name. It's just they're just releasing games
It's
on
probably
the
just gonna
system.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I think they'll still have a Virtual Console, but here's the thing. I think that if they still continue with the Virtual Console, and if they do a GameCube section, I hope for God that like Melee is way down on the list of games they bring to it, because fuck that game. Just not that the game's bad, but I'm tired of the fan base. I'm tired of the fan
yeah.
Well,
I hate
if it's on the
Melee.
Switch and the GameCube controller can't be used, then they won't like it at all. So they won't even be there. So it's okay.
Yeah, but the Switch has USB ports, and you could if you're a Smash 4 fan and you got that $90 version, you could totally use those two USB things in your Smash. I mean, it's not like it's not compatible. My point is, my point is that, you know, look, it's not that I don't like Melee. I just don't like the fan base. Okay, that's the difference.
I'm right there with you.
But when it comes to
hate
GameCube Virtual Console, I'd love it because I've been playing some GameCube games recently, and it's like, oh, I'd love to take this on the go. I was playing the Mario Baseball, and I'm like, oh, this would be a fun like take and go game. That and like Mario Golf Coastal Tour.
I would like if they do a GameCube Virtual Console, I want it to have 5 games at launch. I want it to have Super Mario Sunshine. I don't really like that game, but I know a lot of people like it, so that would be good. Wave Race, Blue Storm, F-Zero, GX.
GX, in my opinion, is the best F-Zero in the series.
I thought most people thought Blue Storm was actually a downgrade when compared to the first one.
Yeah, but the first one was for the N64, and the second one had the sarcastic announcer. So, I mean, you're talking GameCube Virtual Console, so it's got to be a GameCube game. And F-Zero GX, and then the fourth game, I would do maybe Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door, just because, like, a lot of people. I love that game. To satisfy those people, are like, well, fuck these new Paper Mario games. and the fifth one, you need some type of third party. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, Beautiful Joe. Soul Calibur 2. We finally get a HD Soul Calibur 2. Finally. Years after the shit came out, everything. Yeah, that'd be cool. Soul Calibur 2 would be good. I was going to say maybe Gauntlet Legends Dark Legacy, but Soul Calibur 2 is a much better game. So and then I can kick my ass Link all over again.
And I would say this. Well, Sprite said in the chat, he thinks the Virtual Console will be strictly Nintendo games. Other companies will just go do its own digital service, like with the Neo Geo archives. And I would like that. If Virtual Console was strictly Nintendo, that means you know where to go. And he says that they may even rename it to eShop Classics.
That could be, but the thing is that, like,
our third parties will be total, even more third party into what Capcom does, and do all these like collaboration games and not put them on the Nintendo system.
Yeah, I mean, that totally makes sense. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I know these games debuted on the Nintendo system, but fuck it, they got the first bite of the apple. We'll let these other people get the second bite.
Yeah, Capcom is being retarded at this point.
Or as I like to call them, crapcom.
Eric, I understand, man. Kirby Air Ride. I get it.
Yeah, that's a good game. That's a good game. I mean, it's not my favorite Kirby game, but it gets the job done.
Star
Kirby's
Fox
Air Ride is
Dinosaur
the
Planet.
closest thing we could ever had to a full-fledged 3D Kirby platformer. Actually, if you
I
think
think
about
they could do it, but it would be like it would have to be different. Like if I mean, me personally, if they did like a 3D platformer, a 3D Kirby, I wouldn't want it to be like a straight up platformer. I'd rather have it be like a Kirby RPG type thing. That would be cool to me.
Cherry Goblin
Kirby would look
Double
good.
Dash.
It would look weird in 3D.
Double Dash is amazing.
He recommends Double Dash, of course.
Yeah. Well, Double Dash is really good. Yeah, Double Dash is really good. Donkey Konga with better controls.
Oh, you know what? They could probably do something with the HD Rumble though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm not sure if you guys played it, but that 1-2 switch with the Monkey Beat game. I mean Gorilla. It's pretty damn fun. It make you look stupid as hell playing it, but it's fun.
Actually,
I'm saying publicly, I have played that game and I like it.
Hey, you know what rhythm game that would be perfect for the Switch?
That's between you and your Switch, man.
Oh, what the hell? Eric Maverick says Mario Party 4 through 7.
No Mario parties. No.
Actually, I do want Mario Party 1 and 2 for sure.
But that would be on the N64.
Yeah, I know that, but don't say no Mario Parties. Mario Parties is shit,
you
man.
know what?
No Mario Parties on the GameCube. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I think 5 was good.
No, man, it's too much.
Hello, I was about to say something. Okay, so I was about to say, do you know that you know what rhythm game that would work very well on the Nintendo Switch, especially utilize the HD Rumble well?
Mario Dance Dance Revolution?
No. Samba de Amigo.
Yeah, that worked really well on the Wii.
Did that come to the GameCube though?
No, it was never on GameCube.
It was on Dreamcast. It was never on the GameCube.
I know it's a bit.
It was another Sega Monkey that came to the GameCube, which was
Super Monkey Ball.
Super Monkey Ball.
GX. Yeah, that could work.
Yes, Katamari.
What?
Oh man, that game was made by people who were high.
That's not on GameCube.
I know.
I wish it was.
People.
That was like that was one of the first games I saw that I went, oh, I wish I had a PlayStation.
No, I saw Katamari. I was like,
for one game.
No.
People say people in Japan don't smoke weed. Katamari got my seat back to different.
Well, we'll move on to the next topic here, and this is going to be kind of a negative one. I'm just going to say the name, and y'all can go from there. Slightly Mad Studios.
Fuck them.
More like really Mad Studios.
I don't care about them in their game. I'm going to be honest with you. I did one Project Cars, and it was announced for the Wii U. But because it would actually sold because there was no competition there. There was no other racing sim on the Wii U whatsoever. So, but since that whole debacle, I really don't care about the game. And when they released it for the consoles, it was, for the most part, garbage. So there was an announcement or article that states that they could not get it to 4K 60 frames per second on the Xbox One X. Keep in mind, I don't give a shit about this game, so I don't care about what they can do for the game. I really don't. I want them to release a good game, yes, for those fans that are looking forward to it, but I don't care about it personally. But I find it kind of funny that this game, you cannot get to run at 60 frames per second on what is being dubbed as a true 4K console. But weren't you just claiming not too long ago that your game had 12K in it?
On PC.
Huh.
I mean, that's
sounds like it's me.
that's the caveat, because here's the thing: anyone who actually owned that game knows that it played like shit on consoles except on PC. Now, if you had a relatively powerful PC, the game ran okay. It ran relatively well, but I mean, like, okay, look, the game just brute forced everything on PC. Now, console, like on the PS4, it kind of ran like ass it ran okay on the PS4, but it was downgraded. On the Xbox One, it ran like shit. So, I mean, look, the people at Slightly Mad talk mad shit, but then they can't back it up. So, fuck them. There you go.
Anyone else want to comment on this?
Nope.
All I say is that Slightly Mad, or no, Slightly Mad, Really Mad Studios had basically betrayed the Nintendo fan base a long time ago, and you can make argue, well, because the Wii U is failing and all that stuff. Like, again, like you said, Dr. Feelgood, the game could have actually sold pretty damn well because there was no competitions of racing sims out there at all. But they just gonna go ahead and not even the fact that they wouldn't even put this on the sequel on the Nintendo Switch, despite being the new hot thing as of right now.
Yeah, but they didn't get that new hot, paycheck from Nintendo to consider them. So that's why.
Yeah, but
That's
to
what
be
it boils down to.
fair, no one has paid for this game to come to their console. Like I think the highest sales for Project Cars has been on PC, which is fair because I mean after the PS2, GameCube, Xbox generation, most car sims moved on to PC anyway. I mean, really, like that's if you want to play a car sim, you pretty much got to go on PC anyway. So that's just how it is.
Right.
And no, Gran Turismo doesn't count.
Hey,
Because it's a
I like Gran
PlayStation
Turismo
game.
and Forza.
Yeah, but Forza's more of an arcade experience, and I mean, let's keep it real. Most
Well,
people who,
I would say Forza Horizons is, but the actual Forza games,
yeah, but okay,
it's
are
pretty
you
good.
playing those games with a wheel and like a full-on sim wheel
No.
with the then no, it's not a car sim. Like if you're playing it with a controller, you might enjoy it. It's not a car sim. Because I've seen people that spend like $700, $800 on a rig. And this is not the PC. This is the steering wheel and all the feedback things and actuators so that they can play those types of things. And I'm sorry, those things are on PC. That's where that audience has gone because PC can give them that experience, that real world experience, whatever. And a vibrating controller just does not simulate the way those. Because I thought they were full of shit until one day I went to a friend's house and played. I think it was Top Gear Rally 8 or some shit like that, and you hit the mud. Those force actuators feel like you actually hit the mud with vibration, like through your feet and everything, and how the wheel kind of fights you a little bit when you hit a rough patch.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know people on consoles are like, man, I played Gran Turismo. Wow, that's cute. You think you're playing a car sim? I mean, it's a little bit more hardcore than say, Midnight Club, but I know Midnight Club is a long time ago, but that's the last one I played, so on a console.
I believe Midnight Club was from Rockstar, right?
I don't remember shit.
I think they were, but yeah. When's
I
the
haven't
last
played
time we ever had?
I haven't played a
Midnight Club
console. I haven't played a console racer with realistic type graphics since Midnight Club. I tried to get Need for Speed Most Wanted, and I was like, this game is missing part of the content, so fuck it. I didn't play it.
All right, anything else about this topic?
I think we could move on.
Yeah. All I'll say is that there's a lot of games coming out on the Xbox One X that aren't going to run at 60. So, okay. Especially third party, so whatever.
You mean to tell me Phil Spencer lied? How dare you, sir?
Well, we move on to the next topic and last one, and this is about Sony confirming that there will indeed be a PS5. Have at it.
Okay.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
Let's see. About the
Good thing I didn't buy a
PS5.
Pro, I guess. I don't know. Like, those
Well,
games I enjoy playing on my
okay.
PS4 Pro full
I know
still,
some of you
so
guys.
I don't care.
I know I already told you about the patent, and goes out to the viewers out there. If you guys remember the patent out there, you guys remember the patent that looks like Sony's own version of the Nintendo Switch, basically. So I have a somewhat of a gut feeling that Sony might try to go for the portable market once again with the PS5, and it'll probably be like another console like hybrid like the Nintendo Switch, because Sony loves copies everything Nintendo does. Let's be real.
Let's be honest.
But
Yes,
okay, here's my thing regarding this. We all knew there was a possibility, there would be a strong possibility that there would be a PS5. We pretty much knew this. However,
But I thought iterative console generations were the future. I thought console generations were dead.
hey,
Iterative console generations were the future until Sony released the PS4 Pro, and that sold like ass. And Microsoft is getting ready to release the Xbox One X, and that's probably going to sell like ass too. And then they realize, oh shit, we need to actually come up with new shit. And that's when they're going to come up with new shit, because iterations don't work.
Now, here's what I think has been happening for the last couple of years. Okay, back when the 7th gen started, we had for Xbox, for example, for Microsoft, there was an Xbox Arcade, which did not come with a hard drive at all, and then you had the other Xbox, I forget what they call it, but it had the 20 gig hard drive. One was 300, one was 400, right? All right, and then as years went by, we ended up getting a 60 gig model, and then we got a 120 gig model, and then we went to 250, and then we got a revision. Well, first they added a revision in terms of making it more lower the energy consumption, so it was actually better and didn't have the red ring of death. And then we had a real console revision in which they made it smaller, changed the basic color, and the typical hard drive was like I think 250 or something like that at the time. Then they made another revision when the Xbox One released, which is the one that I have. I had the original one, then I also got that one. Same thing with the PlayStation. You had a PS3 20 gig and a 60 gig, and then we end up getting an 80 gig, and then they ditched the PS2 chip and went down to a 40 gig, and then we got the 120 whatever, the 250. The slim, the super slim. It's like they're doing that now, but they're trying to give it a different, I guess, name for it.
Yeah.
But it's, to me, you're just revising the shit you've done before, except you're not revising the essential thing, which is basically giving more memory, making it smaller, more efficient. You're basically saying, well, here's more power.
And it's not even a true leap. I mean, like I said, they're 0.5 upgrades. It's just a lot of 0.5 upgrades,
They're glorified new 3DSs.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, true, because and people compare them like this all the time. I say, well, to me, the 3DS was more than just a slight leap because it did add 2 extra shoulder buttons, a second thumbstick, if you want to call it that, the thumb nub or whatever. And it had a 3D tracking camera, a faster processor, but it added more than a few things and a built-in NFC. So it added all these things. It was more than just a slight leap, in my opinion. That's just me.
Well, I mean, like, okay. Tech-wise, it was more than a slight leap, but at the end of the day, you still can play all your DS and 3DS games on your new 3DS.
Except
because I have one, and I can play all my DS and 3DS games on the damn thing. And so, I mean, functionally, these consoles aren't different from one another. The PS4 Pro is not different from the PS4, except some games play worse on the PS4 Pro than they do on the PS4. And the Xbox, the triple Xbox, is not going to be any fundamentally better than the Xbox One or the Xbox One S, except the triple Xbox will has super sampling, allegedly.
Shut the hell up.
So I mean, they went to their marketing department, and they went to the guy who was working during the Sega days, and they're like, we need a buzzword that's going to sound really cool. They're like, super sampling. So that's what they came up with. But anyway, so basically, none of these consoles are doing anything fundamentally different from what was being done with their previous iterations. So, and it's not going to work. It's not going to do shit. I mean, the last people who get away with different versions of iterations with slight upgrades was, I want to say Sega.
I was to say Sega? But even that bit him in the butt later on.
Yep.
Yeah, but they had 3 different versions of the Sega Genesis. They had the Sega Genesis Model 1, which you could also play your original Master System cue card games in, and Sega and Master System games in. Then they had the Sega Model 2, and they had the Sega Model 3. But even those weren't really upgrades. Those were just, they made the shit smaller and, some other bennies. I think the 3 had the CD combo added to it or some shit. I can't remember it. I had a Sega Model 2. So
Well, Terry Goblin is trolling as always.
It was easier for the Model 2 to support the Sega CD and the 32X, basically.
I guess, man. I don't know. I can't keep up with all those different iterations.
Well, Terry Goblin actually made a troll comment here. At least I think it's a troller's comment. He said, I predict that Death Stranding, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Last of Us 2 will be PS5.
PS5.
Don't forget Kingdom Hearts.
Oh,
Kingdom
shit.
Hearts
Do
3.
not piss off. Oh, do not do this, man. Not today.
They're gonna look. The Kingdom Hearts fans are gonna eat a bullet if that game does not come out. This
How long has it
gen.
been so far? Has it been 13 years so far?
Yeah, they're willing to wait that
Yeah.
long, so they'll wait some more.
You know what the sad thing is? Because they give them the false hope, they've rebought the entire series again for PS4.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Even if I had a PS4, I wouldn't buy that system. I wouldn't buy those damn games again if you paid me. If you literally said, "Here's $200, go buy PS4, go buy Kingdom Hearts 2.8 and 1.8."
But you know what's so funny?
1.89.
They won't even give us a release year for that game. That tells you something. It's bad. If you can't even give me a year, that's terrible.
They're shuttering fucking studios and shit.
I'm looking here on, this is Wikipedia, so I know it's not the most accurate thing, but Kingdom Hearts 2 will first release in Japan in December of 2005, and of course North America in March of 2006.
6.
So it's literally been over 11 years.
11 years. 12 years since
And
development.
it's at least another, I would think, about 2 years away. So it's going to be 13, 14 years before this game releases.
That game is either going to be the last game to come out for the PS4 or the first game to come out for the PS5. That's
If you
I'm
do
gonna
it
say
like a
this.
wild and say,
This
oh,
is
for the
gonna-
PS4, and it's a launch title for the PS5.
I think Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy VII Remake will be the last console games that Square makes. I think they're the last ones.
I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think Final Fantasy VII is gonna make it on the PS4.
I don't think
period.
I
think it's another. I think it's a 3-4 years away, and by that time, the PS5 is gonna be out.
I think these two games will be the last 2 console games Square Enix produces. Because
I won't go that far.
Hey, I said console. I mean, they want to still stick with, the 3DS or Nintendo's handhelds and mobile PC even. That's them. But I think as far as console games, especially console exclusives, yeah, this would be the last 2 games.
I think console exclusives can. I don't think Square Enix is out of the game. I think that they're going to need a massive restructuring on how they do business.
You mean before they go out of business?
they might have to split. Well, they aren't in that bad of financial straits, but they really do have to split. Like, really, I think Square Enix has to split their businesses back in half. Like, okay, you're the European motherfuckers. You do Deus Ex and Tomb Raider and all that shit.
Not
We're
even that.
Japanese.
Give
We
me
do Japanese shit.
Squaresoft and Square Enix, so I know who to avoid. So I'll do business with
Look,
Squaresoft, but not Square Enix.
yeah, Europe can become Square Enix. Japan part can go back to being Squaresoft and Enix, because, like, here's the thing: Enix made Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest has been consistently good since it came out. Through all the shit, they've consistently released good games. Squaresoft has been fucking up though. The Square part of it has been fucking up for years now. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. But
Terry
I
Gum
mean,
responded. He said, "I'm not." He said, "I'm trolling, but at the same time, I'm not." Death Stranding is not a PS4 game.
no, it's
It's
not.
it's
It's not.
it's
It's a
not.
it's a digital movie. That's what it is. Because
It's
I mean,
not
you've
good.
got Norman Reedus' C-section scar and
Shut the hell up! You keep
some
mentioning this.
guy up there, and like it's like I hope this is the game where these Kojima fans realize that he's not a good video game designer. He's ass. Okay, he's not that good. Let it go. Metal Gear was never that good. You just liked it because it was weird.
Oh, I don't know, man. I just don't know. When I keep hearing, and you know what's so funny to me? I don't get on Twitter or even social media that much. I really don't. But when I get on there and I see someone posted an article saying, and the article has has clickbait title that says, you know, Square Enix finally has a release date for Kingdom Hearts 3 or Final Fantasy 7 remake, and then it says something like the director is it says something looks like, well, yeah, they plan on releasing the game, they just started on it, so it could be 2 years, it could be three. It's like, are you serious? Like, you're not giving release date. And but you know what, the
It's
fans will push
hilarious.
this shit so desperately, because the last time, I'm not gonna lie, I fell for this shit because I don't really care, but I fell for it. This title literally said, Square gives a time frame for like Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm like, oh, okay, fine, we can at least know the year, right? It wasn't even a year. He was just basically saying how like that they had to do some more restructuring with the project, and like it's gonna take longer than expected. I'm like, that's not telling me things, so this shit's not going to come out anytime soon.
Yeah. Let me put it this way. It's shit like that. It's shit like this that causes people in Western companies to get fired. Because you're talking about projects that are millions of dollars to get off the ground, and you don't have a plan, you don't have an idea, you don't even have a fucking team together to get work started.
You got a real plot.
Yeah, so you know what? This is where I kind of get angry at Square Enix as a company, because like they put so much time and energy into fucking Final Fantasy to the detriment of all their other relatively good IPs that they should be growing, so that they have other shit to fall back on if Final Fantasy fails, which it has numerous occasions. Like they have Dragon Quest. They bought Ogre Battle. They bought
They did?
yeah, they bought Ogre
I did
Battle,
not know
which
that.
sucks. Yeah. They bought Lufia. I mean, there's some old shit that Square Enix themselves own that they've done nothing with, like Live Alive, Romancing Saga. We haven't gotten the Secret of Mana game in years. Look, we did. It released last week. It was called Ever Oasis. It's made by the guy who made Secret of Mana, but he doesn't have the rights to his own IP that he fucking created because Square Enix owns it. So he made a Secret of Mana game and just called it something else. Ever Oasis.
It's a cute little game. It's really fun. I'm playing it right now.
Yeah, I heard it. I heard it in the background. But I mean, like Square Enix just they get on their knees and they do everything for Final Fantasy, and all these other IPs just waste away because they will not put any effort behind them whatsoever. Which is weird.
I would say this, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the game, I understand it's the most popular one in the franchise. But Final Fantasy VII, they could have easily So 10 million copies of this game had they just taken the original game itself and literally remastered the shit in modern times. Like, they could have remade it exactly the way it was, but just gave it. I would say, hell, you could have given it Call of Duty graphics, make the shit upscale 540p to 720, and you make the environments, real, and you redo the cutscenes. You could have sold 10 million easy, just like
They
that. A
can't do
lazy
that.
ass effort.
They can't do that.
Why not?
Because when people who are fans of Final Fantasy VII say they want a remake, whatever you remake is not going to live up to what they're thinking in their heads.
Yeah.
Because let's keep it real. Final Fantasy VII is not even the best Final Fantasy in the series. I know that hurts. That hurts some of these fanboys. But yes, Final Fantasy VII is not the best one in the series. I would say that Final Fantasy VI is the best one in the series, followed by maybe 9 and 10 if you take out Titus. That's it. 5 and 4 behind those. Maybe 3 after that. And then that's it. I mean, the rest of them are like, okay, to
And you know what?
god awful.
I saw that video you shared. That girl, I forget her name, about the Final Fantasies and how the main characters and the men have become more effeminate.
Yeah.
Was it?
I mean, I can't even.
I forget her name.
Yeah, super fan. Like, I can't even root for these people because it's like I can't root for you. You look like you should be walking down a fashion runway, not saving the world. Okay, like I can't. Like, no. But I'm not gonna blame Square Enix for this. I'm gonna blame Tetsuya Nomura because he's the one who's been fucking designing these characters for the last few years, and he's ass. He is terrible. He is fucking terrible. And if I have to see any more games with characters made by him, I'm going to. Well, that's why I don't play Kingdom Hearts. That's why I don't like Final Fantasy 13.
I saw a meme probably about a year ago, and it was the comments went south so quick. Someone took Lightning from Final Fantasy 13, right? Because that was pretty much one of the first female protagonists, main protagonists in the Final Fantasy game. Then someone, underneath her, they basically took her outfit and everything and shaved the hair down and just basically made it into a guy. And the first comment was, gay as hell. I was like, what the hell? The conversation went so bad, man. I wish I could find it, but it was.
I mean, here's the thing. That's the thing that pisses me off about Square Enix. Because Tetsuya Nomura made Lightning. Oh, she's the first. No, she's not. The first female protagonist in a Final Fantasy game was Terra from fucking Final Fantasy VI. But no, that wasn't made by. Yeah. That wasn't made by Tetsuya Nomura. So fuck that character. I mean, it's this disgusting ass. And Square Enix likes to lie to people. Well,
You know what that reminds me of? I know this sounds a bit off topic, but this reminds me of when people are claiming that, like characters like Elsa or Moana are the first Disney princesses or whatever there are of color or whatever. Or they're strong and brave, but they forgot.
Wasn't that Mulan from Mulan?
Yeah, Mulan and Tiana,
Jasmine,
from Princess. Yeah, Jasmine. You see what I mean? It's like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is kind of going off topic, but it's relevant to our point. People making statements and not knowing what they're talking about, like Elizabeth Banks said that Steven Spielberg didn't have women as the main character in his movies, and I'm like, he did The Color Purple, and that started Oprah Winfrey. Or not Oprah. Well, it started Oprah Winfrey and or not Oprah. Oprah and Whoopi Goldberg. Last time I checked, those were women, and they starred in the movie, and it was directed by Steven Spielberg. So, and that was in 1980 something. See, some people open their mouths, and it's like, damn. Don't say anything. People will think you're stupid, but if you say something, people will know.
And I do agree with Cherry Goblin in the chat. He says they waited too long to do this remake. I agree. They should have done this remake probably on the PS3, like
10 years
I would say
ago.
early to mid PS3 at at the
Yeah,
latest. But
yeah.
waiting for potentially in the PS4, beginning of PS5, people won't care anymore. Just like Kingdom Hearts, that game is going to flop.
Yep. But
It,
hey, it's gonna be on the Xbox One, so it'll be fun.
okay, we're gonna end the podcast right here.
Hey man, I didn't tell them to put that
Well,
shit on the Xbox One. Look, we all know if
well,
a Japanese game
they
hits
don't want to
the
put it.
Xbox
They
One,
don't want to put it
it
on Nintendo
dies.
Switch, let alone the Wii U.
Look,
So
we all know that the Xbox One is basically fucking kryptonite for Japanese games. like it's like Superman. It's like, oh, I'm going. Oh no, it's an Xbox One. Oh, let's get help. Oh.
Well, its core color is green, so
Yeah.
goes with
I'm so weak. If you listen. If you want to kill a Japanese game, just put it on Xbox One. It'll on an Xbox system. Period. It will die. It will die a sad and lonely death. and here's the thing: good games have come to the Xbox, like Blue Dragon and Tales of Vesperia. Well, Tales of Vesperia could have flopped entirely, but Microsoft paid for that game to get made, so Namco Bandai made money either way. But if Microsoft hadn't paid for that game, Namco Bandai would have lost money on that deal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll go ahead and end the podcast here. I do want to thank you guys for coming. And to those in the chat, Cherry Goblin, Eric Maverick, Sprite Remix, of course, and the rest of you, thank you so much. Watch the twinning. But anyway, guys, go ahead and give your sign offs so we can get the hell up out of here. I'll jump at once.
This is Mr. Red Fox. I have a BS Buster Fun Day cast coming up this Sunday. It's special because we'll be taking questions. I'll leave a link to where you can leave those questions in the chat log at the end of once this video is uploaded. If people want to ask questions on my cast, and we'll also be basically giving a premise, details, and analysis of games we would like to, games or franchises we'd like to bring back and how we do it. So it's going to be fun. It's the 4th of July Fun Day cast. Look forward to it this Sunday, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Whoever wants to go next?
I'll go next. This is Perry Fan. Sorry for cutting out there. My computer froze, so I was lucky to get back in before I quickly left. But no, this is Perry Fan 34, random citizen of the internet. You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr. That's where I'm most active. Same name. Other than that, nothing really big. The new Zelda DLC drops this Friday, so 2 to 1, that's going to get more coverage than the Crash Bandicoot re-release.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Hey, you know what? I noticed something about that Crash Bandicoot game. It does not say anywhere on the box only for PS4.
No, I think it's going to come to other stuff because it is Activision. They're allowed to do it. So
yeah, I think it is too.
It's their
because
would it be hilarious if Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy
comes to Switch?
Came to the Switch? Yeah,
that'd be funny. That would be funny. But other than that, yeah, nothing really big. Keep gaming, keep having fun. Oh, start playing Nier. It's a really interesting game, story-wise, and I never played the first one, but it's interesting. It was one of those like really good PS4 games that came out at the beginning of the year, and now we have nothing else.
I am going to get the game, but when I heard rumors that it may actually get a re-release, potential on the Switch, I said I'm going to wait until the end of this year. If it doesn't come out by then, I'll go ahead and get it for PS4.
Platinum said they would like to develop for the Switch, but again, it's a Square Enix property, so you never know.
Yeah, man. It's just man, you might as well just pre-order your shit now for the PS4 and get it out the way because it's Square Enix.
Price used or new later during the holiday season, but I suggest
it'll be by that time it'll be $10 to $20 max. So I won't be like I'm paying.
There won't be much to play on PlayStation this holiday.
No, man, come on, man. There's gonna be that expansion for Horizon Zero Dawn and that deal.
I will say it is one of the 2 games that came out this year that has some of the best New Game Plus features. This and Neo have really good New Game Pluses, so they'll keep you playing for a while if you want a game to like really sink your teeth into again. Other than that, nothing really big to say. So, yay, I'm done.
And Gilligan?
This is Gilligan Stash here, and just recently I have been playing Snake Pass, and screw those people who say that the controls are terrible. Sure, they're different. Sure,
They take some getting
time.
used to, but they are very good.
Yeah, they're pretty damn good. I have managed to like complete it like so far 4 no not 3 like 4 out of the 5 worlds, the 5 levels in World 1 so far, like 100% of them too. Well, except for 4 out of the 5 levels in the first world, 100% of all of them so far. And then on top of that, it's on sale right now for $12. So yeah,
that bitch, I bought it for 20.
Yep. So I ain't even mad at all. I'm more than thrilled. You know, the fact that I bought that game for cheap, it gives it all the extra value. I wouldn't mind it if I would have paid for it for $20. Really.
All right. And as always, I'm Dr. Feelgood. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate your comments. You're very lively. Look forward to see you guys in the chat again next week. And as I always say, keep it gaming. Peace out.
Peace.
Bitches.